Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Chicago Bears taking on the New York Jets.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan, that's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. It did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them out is their 6'3" quarterback, the 3rd overall selection in 2018, Sam Darnold.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And all the way down to the 35. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
It's a gain of 2 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes.
Just looking really porous. pass, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing 6'1" from Utah. It's Tyler Huntley.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On 1st and 10, Huntley, and quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 5 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Not much there, only a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 7 catches for an even 100 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 20-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On first down, Bell looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Calling a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
25-yard line.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, Huntley gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Gordon on first down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
To throw on 2nd down. Huntley firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley steps away to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A 16-yard touchdown as the Bears push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. 14. Point after, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. On 2nd and 9, Darnold. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
At their own 31-yard line.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again.
Huntley, he'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
To throw, Huntley.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here's Braden Mann now,
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
57 for Mike. 57. He's crazy. He's checking crazy. 19, Tiger. 19, Tiger. Mike 57.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
57. Mike 57. 6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On 3rd down, Huntley. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
On is the punter, Scott, here as he gets this one away.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
New York ready to go again offensively.
There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Darnold on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Throwing again is Darnold. Now a short one to Gesicki. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. A first down throw, Darnold. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
New York.
Jamison Crowder, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are within a 2-point conversion of tying this thing up. And this is up and good. It brings them within a point now. It's 14-13. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Jet touchdown.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The 25-yard line.
Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good run.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And this carries into the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A final shot before the break. Darnold airing one out for Crowder. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. The Falcons trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head through Delaware and up to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And you can see they are out in front in that one. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. To throw on second down. Huntley over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle there by Brian Poole. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Looking to throw on second down. Huntley. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Here's Huntley. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. Huntley. And his throw's going to be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
To throw on 3rd down. Huntley gonna let one fly for... Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And the lead is up to 15 now. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now it's Darnold. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
On second down, it's Bell. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
And a line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw on 2nd down. Huntley. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd down, Huntley. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Operating from the gun. Huntley gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The safety Marcus May in there on the coverage.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
To throw on 3rd down, Huntley. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And now they're not going to get the kickoff in time. And that will make this a more difficult prospect. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9. Darnold from the gun. Crowder's got it over the middle. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
On 1st down, Darnold. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Again, Darnold.
And he'll get this underneath to Bell.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Cooper's got it. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 7.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Darnold to throw again. He's got the first down inside the 10. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line.
New York.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his...
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Touchdown.
Devin Funchess. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears will add on to their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Goes underneath for Bell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
The Jets on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Throw left side complete. That's Bell. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even...
Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They'll run on first down. It's Gordon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Off the play fake. Huntley. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. From the gun, Huntley. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Now we'll see what the big tight end Mike Gesicki and the rest of the offense has in store. And look at the numbers. They have gotten him more involved. I guess the question now, Charles, defensively, how do you make him less involved?
That's always a key question, isn't it? Sometimes other guys are starting to play really well and you shift your attention to them. You got to make sure you got full focus on him, because he's so good that if you don't, he finds a way to make plays. Always have 2 guys in his vicinity, usually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage and get him out of his route.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bell. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
To throw again on 2nd down. Darnold, a screen to Bell. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. And this will be incomplete. A physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Darnold completes to Bell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Darnold called it no gain there on the 1st down play. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To the air again, Darnold. This is Bell on the dump-off. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be third down. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. One last throw now for Darnold. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Chicago, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.